No internet, no hospitals, no neighbours for 100 miles. Would you survive a day in Australia's most dangerous wilderness? The outback isn't a single place. It's not a town, or a park, or a stretch of desert you can point to on a map. It's a vast, punishing wilderness, a brutal, beautiful expanse that makes up nearly 70% of the Australian continent. And yet, it's home to less than 3% of the population. This is not the Australia you see in tourism brochures. There are no beaches, no bustling cities, no brunch spots. This is the land of red dust, searing heat, and silence so deep it echoes. It's raw, it's remote, and it doesn't care if you're ready or not. And yet, people choose to live here. Why? Picture this. A tin shack sits alone in a desert horizon. A single satellite dish points skyward. The nearest neighbour, over 100 miles away. This is home for Dave and Robin, a retired couple living in the Simpson Desert. They've been off-grid for over a decade. No running water, no roads, no noise. They say the silence is their sanctuary. Then there's Waru, an Aboriginal elder who's lived his entire life here. His community traces their lineage back over 60,000 years, older than the pyramids, older than written history. To them, this isn't isolation. It's home. It's ancestry. And finally, meet Mick, a third-generation camel wrangler. Camels might sound out of place in Australia, but there are actually over 1 million feral camels roaming the outback. Mick tracks, trains, and races them, and he swears they're smarter than most people. These aren't just residents, they're survivors. But living here comes with serious risks. One mistake can be deadly. The outback doesn't forgive. Step on the wrong patch of ground and you might meet a king brown snake. A bite from one can kill in under 30 minutes. Swim in the wrong creek. You might not see the saltwater croc until it's too late. Even the weather is deadly. Temperatures often climb past 50 degrees Celsius, 122 degrees Fahrenheit, in the shade. And it's not just heat. It's the silence, the lack of signal, the distance from help. In 2019, a couple's car broke down in the Tanami Desert. No GPS, no cell reception. They wandered for hours. By the time a search plane spotted them, they were barely alive. One bottle of water away from death. Out here, survival isn't about gear, it's about grit. So what keeps them going? It's not just toughness, it's something deeper. Long before there were maps, fences, or satellites, there were stories. The Aboriginal people have walked these lands for more than 60,000 years. Their relationship with the outback isn't one of domination, it's one of connection. To them, the land is alive. Every rock, every breeze, every lizard track tells a story. At sacred sites like Uluru, the dream time speaks through colours in the rock and the wind in the grass. The stories passed down across generations aren't myths, they're maps, warnings, wisdom. They don't survive the outback, they live in harmony with it. But while traditions survive, modern life still sneaks in. Imagine going to school via satellite. In some outback towns, kids don't walk to class, they log on via satellite internet. Teachers live hundreds of kilometres away. Tests are mailed in. Recess? That's chasing lizards behind the water tank. Food? There are no supermarkets. Supply runs arrive by tiny bush planes or once-a-month road trains. Massive trucks that carry fuel, medicine, and everything else. Then there are the pubs in the middle of nowhere, with more kangaroo skulls on the wall than people inside. In Birdsville, the annual horse race brings in thousands, more than 10x the town's population. For one weekend, this ghost town becomes a festival of dust, booze, and big hats. It's strange, it's hard, but it's theirs. But even with all this charm, is the outback disappearing? The outback is ancient, but it's not unchanging. Climate change is pushing it past its limits. Temperatures are rising, droughts are longer, bushfires are fiercer, some waterholes have dried up for good. Entire species are vanishing. And for the humans, towns are turning to ghost towns. Abandoned homes, dried out wells, schools with no children. Even the tough ones, those who've weathered every dust storm and snakebite, are starting to ask, is it still livable? So, why do some people say this is the freest life imaginable? Because out here, you are alone, not lonely. Alone. There's no traffic, no alarms, no scrolling feeds or blaring sirens. Just wind, sky, and a landscape that doesn't care who you are. when you watch a blood-orange sun dip behind red sand dunes, and the only sound is your heartbeat in your ears. Something changes. It's healing. It's haunting. It's freedom in its purest form. You don't live in the Outback. The Outback lives in you. So what is life like in the Outback? It's tough. It's wild. It's dangerous, but it's also magical. And deeply, deeply human. Would you ever visit, or even live here? Drop a comment below if you think you'd survive a week, or a day. And don't forget to subscribe for more true stories from the most extreme corners of our world. The Outback forces you to face yourself. There's no noise to distract you, no crowd to disappear into, no screens to scroll. Out here, you hear everything? Your doubts, your fears, your heartbeat. And for many, that's exactly what they crave. Isolation here isn't punishment, it's purification. But who actually owns the Outback? You might think the Outback is just empty land, but it's far from lawless. Much of it is private station land, massive ranches, some the size of small countries. Take Anna Creek Station, for example. At over 6 million acres, it's bigger than Israel. It's owned by a single family, and they run cattle across land so dry it takes 50 acres to feed just one cow. Then there are native title lands, where Aboriginal communities hold legal and spiritual claim to sacred areas. These aren't just territories, they're living archives of thousands of years of cultural memory. In between, you'll find protected national parks, mining leases, and government zones that are as regulated as any city, but almost completely uninhabited. So while the Outback feels wild, it's not unclaimed, it's just untouched. And deep beneath this untouched land lies a fortune. But beneath the cracked red earth lies more than just soil. It's hiding billions of dollars worth of minerals, gas, and oil. Mining companies have been drilling here for decades. From gold and opals to uranium and rare earth minerals, the Outback isn't just scenic, it's strategic. And that's created a tension. While miners chase profit, indigenous communities fight to protect sacred land. Blasting through rock might mean blasting through 10,000 years of history. Case in point. In 2020, Rio Tinto intentionally destroyed a 46,000-year-old Aboriginal cave site during a mining expansion. The backlash was global, but for locals it was deeply personal. In the Outback, every rock might hold either a story or a fortune. But what happens when the ground itself starts to give way? Australia is no stranger to fire, but in the Outback, bushfires burn differently. There are no fire trucks racing down paved roads, no helicopters dropping water, just flame meeting fuel and running wild. Some Aboriginal communities practice traditional fire management called cool burning, using small, controlled fires to reduce undergrowth and prevent massive blazes. It's ancient knowledge that modern science is only beginning to respect. But even these methods struggle to keep up with a new climate reality. Longer dry seasons, unpredictable winds, lightning strikes that spark infernos. Entire towns have vanished in smoke. And for those who stay, every horizon holds the potential for flame. Yet for some, fire isn't fear, it's rebirth. Not everyone in the Outback is born there. Meet grey nomads, retirees who trade suburban comfort for a caravan and the open road. They roam the Outback not because they have to, but because they want to. They chase sunsets, camp under stars, live off-grid in solar-powered vans parked beside dry creek beds. And then there's bush poets like Banjo Clark, who travels from town to town reciting stories and rhymes that capture the raw beauty of Outback life. It's not about escaping society, it's about redefining freedom, not in how much you own, but how little you need. Out here, less really is more. But what happens when even these roads disappear? One of the most haunting features of the Outback. The ghost roads. Once busy dirt tracks that led to mining towns, cattle stations or train depots, now swallowed by sand and time. Some maps still show these roads, but they no longer exist. They're memories now. Faint tyre tracks, rusting signage, abandoned fuel drums. Entire towns have vanished. Farina, once a booming rail hub, now a skeleton of stone ruins. Cook, a railway town reduced to just 4 residents and a dog. Whitnoom, completely wiped off official maps due to toxic asbestos dust. The outback isn't just alive, it's always erasing itself. And yet new stories still rise from the dust. Growing up here is not like anywhere else. In towns like Udnadatta or Tennant Creek, childhood means no local mall, but miles of land to run free. No school playground, but camels and kangaroos in the backyard. No movie theatre, but elders who pass on sacred stories under the stars. Parents teach survival before ABCs. Kids learn how to read clouds, track footprints, and treat snake bites. Technology still sneaks in, phones, TikTok, and satellite internet, but it's filtered through dust and distance. Some leave for the city, but many come back, because no skyline compares to the endless outback sky. But what does the future look like for these kids? Whether it thrives or fades will depend on more than climate or money. It depends on connection. Connection between old and young, ancient and modern, story and survival. Government programs are slowly improving infrastructure, solar panels, better roads, emergency medical flights. But the real power lies in preserving identity. If the outback dies, a part of humanity's oldest story dies with it. But if it lives, if people fight for it, adapt to it, respect it, it could become one of the world's last true frontiers. And in the end, maybe that's exactly what we need. So, what is life really like in the outback? It's a paradox. It's harsh but healing, lonely but deeply connected. It will test you, break you, but it might also free you. You don't come to the outback to escape the world. You come to remember what it means to be human in a world that forgot silence, sweat, and solitude. Could you survive it? Or better yet, could it change you? Drop your answer in the comments. Subscribe for more stories from Earth's wildest, weirdest corners. Hit the bell so you don't miss a journey.